Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm so happy to have you here. My name is Christina and I'm interested in astrology, psychology, art, and hidden knowledge. I felt guided to share about the astrology of August, and I also pulled a couple of cards, some oracle and tarot cards. So I'm filming this on a Tuesday. Tuesday is connected to Mars. It's connected to Aries and Scorpio energy. The moon is in Scorpio and the sun is in Leo the last couple of days before we enter Virgo season. I don't know if you can hear it in the background, but I'm listening to a song that it's alchemical and connects fire and water. So there have been many astrological events in July and in August. We've recently had the new moon in Leo and the solar eclipse. We are in the eclipse season. Things can feel strange, things can feel a bit odd. I'm going to look at the chart and give you more information. So I'm looking right now at the chart, and what I can see is that there is heavy fire energy, especially, and air. So today is a good day to take action, to do something active. If you are near the water, you can go to the beach or to a lake, just being in nature, listening to your favorite music, doing something that you love to do. This can be very helpful. Usually, the new moon indicates setting intentions, starting something new. But what I can see is that with the new moon and the eclipse, it's more about the revision of the last cycle. We have a couple of planets that are retrograde. For example, Chiron moved into Taurus. Chiron has been in Aries between 2019 and 2025. So Chiron is the wounded healer, so there might have been a connection to who am I, what is my identity, what do I want to do. There might have been challenges because Aries is the zodiac, first zodiac sign, and if you rely too much on the Libra energy, like for example, if you rely too much on your friends or on your partner for validation or your career, this could have brought some like tower moments. Like there could have been sudden endings in friendships or career. So any validation from the external world, because Aries just does what they want to do without seeking approval. They just know what they want to do because they're very instinctual. They do, and then they reflect because they have great instincts. So there could have been some challenges for some of you in regards to that, but it's about like, what do you want to do? What do you want your life to be like? Um, In regards to Aries, it can be a very fast-paced energy, very relentless, ambitious, and sometimes this can take a toll, especially if it can be like perfectionistic, very ambitious. So it have taken a toll that can lead to burnout, exhaustion. So Chiron in Taurus relates to the second house. So this talks about our relationship with money, our values, our possessions. Talks about what do I have? Do I deserve it? It's a question, do I deserve it? And of course you deserve it. So there could be some shadow work around that, especially if you are in the spiritual community. It might be challenging. For some of us, it might be challenging to ask for what we're worth or charge for our services. So, um, Chiron in Taurus is a very beautiful energy. Right now, it's in retrograde. So, it's a revision of the last couple of years. For many, the last 6, 7 years have been an activation of spiritual gifts and spiritual awakening. So it's about looking at the last couple of years and see how we've evolved and just taking a moment to celebrate ourselves. Because, you know, let me describe how I would imagine a perfect day for Chiron in Taurus. So it would be like waking up without an alarm, making a nice coffee, going in the garden, and just listening to the singing birds, looking at the trees, looking at the blooming flowers. Just, stop and smell the roses and just enjoying ourselves, enjoying nature, using our senses. So this would be like, drinking a nice iced coffee, putting our favorite perfume that makes us feel good and feel confident, listening to our favorite music, spending time in nature, eating something that is good and refreshing, like homemade ice cream, and then, going to the beach, and afterwards, like, no, I'm moving too fast, like, let's slow down. So it's like, Tourist would be like going to the beach with your friend and just spending time together, relaxing. You can also bring your favorite book and read from your favorite book, spending time without looking at the clock, without looking at the phone, just, yeah, being in nature. And then, going to the spa and just enjoying yourself, taking things slowly, using the senses to feel good. So the way Taurus likes to meditate is they like to cook. When they cook and they use different spices and herbs, they connect to nature, and it's like a meditation for them. And they like to make surprising dishes for themselves and also for their friends. Venus is connected to the Taurus energy, it's a feminine energy, whereas Aries is more masculine, go, 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 and Taurus is slow and steady with the race. So I would suggest to see what you like to do, what you love to do. I saw a meme that was very, very good. It said that all roads lead to childhood. So, what did you like to do as a kid that can resonate? Just doing a hobby that you used to love to do as a kid that can be very helpful. All right. So, that's what I have for now with Chiron in Taurus in retrograde. Saturn is in retrograde in Aries as well. It recently, from the end of July, it's been in retrograde. So that means a revision of the last 8, 9 months because we've been go, go, go. We've been taking a lot of action, many of us. So this is a revision before it starts to be direct again in January 2027. So this is about not necessarily taking action of starting something new, but just focusing on your, you know, 1 year, 2 year plan. What do you want to do in the future? What do you want to create? You know, what are your morning routine, night routine? Saturn is connected to discipline, routine, career. So what practical actions you can take to make your life better? I see the sun, the sun is in Leo. The last couple of days, Mercury is still in Leo, Jupiter in Leo. So this is about communication, making new connection, meeting with friends, and also not being afraid to shine. So if you, I don't know, want to do stand-up comedy, or if you want to start a social media account, that would be the perfect time to do so and show yourself. Don't be afraid to show yourself. Some very, very positive aspects. It's that Venus is in Libra right now, and Venus loves to be in Libra. So with this energy, it would be easier for us to connect to one another, to resolve any conflict that might arise. It's also a very good time to make new friends, to go to social events. Another aspect that I find interesting is Mars in Cancer. It can be a bit challenging, I have to say. It can be a bit passive aggressive. So be careful to not start any fights or arguments with your spouse, your friends, or at work because it can be very volatile energy. It's like, yeah, it can be very challenging. We can be very reactive, like from 0 to 100. So it can be quite challenging. So, Mars has been in Gemini. So we've been getting a lot of downloads, a lot of ideas. We've been talking to one another. And Cancer is about grounding that energy into our heart. So opening our heart to what we love to do and then taking aligned action that comes from our heart. And also we had Mercury in retrograde in Cancer in July. So there have been wounds that come to the surface, especially like childhood wounds and just things that haven't been resolved. And when Mars in Cancer comes, it's bringing this to the surface in order to heal. Yeah, Neptune is in retrograde in Aries. So it's about, it's a good thing. Like it can be, it's duality. It can be a good thing and a bad thing. Um, the good part is that we'll be having more vivid dreams. We'll be able to slow down and focus on what we want to do because when it gets direct, we'll be able to take the aligned action that we want to do. So with this more like feminine energy, it's about attraction. What do you want to bring in your life? And focusing on that energy. And as we focus on that energy, on that frequency of joy and love and gratitude, we allow things to come into our lives with flow, with ease. We don't have to struggle. We don't have to fight so much. Aries can be very relentless and ambitious. So with the retrograde energy, it gives a bit of Pisces energy, it goes back to Pisces a bit. So yeah, it's it can be a very pretty intense energy. Some of us might have headaches or insomnia, not being able to sleep, like even a bit manic. So what can help the energy is workout, going for long walks, dancing, anything that moves the energy can be very helpful. Yeah, I'm looking at the aspects to see what else I can share with you. Mm, Let's see. Let's see what else I can share with you about the aspects. So what I can say about Venus. So Venus in Libra is trining Pluto in Aquarius. Trine is the most beautiful aspect a planet can make. So this is about offering love and support and being open to receive. This brings harmony in our relationships. This is about helping one another, uplifting one another, and building stronger relationships. So this gives a lot of power and transformation. If you feel guided to start a YouTube channel or volunteer in order to help the collective, that can be a good thing. So there's something I feel the need to say, because we have this retrograde energy, you know, with the Neptune and Saturn. I just want to say that if you've made a big shift recently, there could be some challenges from the past that are coming into your life. Like, for example, if you recently changed your job, or if you went from working at the 9 to 5 to becoming an entrepreneur, or for example, you left a relationship, maybe not recently, maybe some months or years ago, and you know, the ex starts calling you, or your boss who was mean, calls you and tries to give you a promotion after you uplifted and found a better job or a better solution. This is about, there could be some soul ties between you and that person or that situation from the past, and they can sense that you're going to the next level. You're just evolving and going to the next level because you are um, divine, and you're a sovereign human being, and you're going to the next level, and they just feel that and they're thinking of you. And with the Neptune in retrograde, there could be dreams about that. They could be, if you had like a strong connection to them or that situation, there is an energetic tie to, and you might be very, empathic, but they can sense that you're evolving, and they might want to try to stop that. So, especially if, you used to go to a 9 to 5 that was very draining, or you used to meet an ex that left you feeling more drained and depressed, and having financial issues. It's because they weren't giving, they were just taking and taking and taking, and they weren't giving, and that might have felt you drained. So I just want to tell you, if that this situation is happening, um, they're probably not going to change, although they might try to come and give you what you wanted back then. They just feel that you're going to the next level and they want to be included. But like, why would you want to clap for me now that I have success? Why were you there when I needed your help? You know, like that's the energy I'm picking up in the collective. So I just wanted to share that with you because there could be some challenges, maybe not now, but like on the next, when the Mercury is retrograde again in October, I think October 8 October, November. So I just want to say to you that you know, if you had these challenging lessons, you don't need to repeat the cycle. You don't need to repeat the lesson. You know, Saturn in Aries is about you decide what do you want to do. It's like, you know, sometimes when you pity someone, you become the person that's going to be in that energy. So it's like just trust that everyone has their own connection to their higher power, so you don't need to save anyone. Just like save yourself, focus on yourself, and as you stand in the light, you'll find other people that shine, so together you'll shine brighter. So you don't have to dim your light and be in the dark with the people that in situations that were in the dark. You know, just leave them be because your light irritates them a lot. So I don't know, this might not be for everyone. This message might not be for everyone, but I just felt very passionate about it because, you know, it's time to like regain our power, focus on what we want to do. Like, you know, we've had a lot of Pisces energy in the last couple of years, and Pisces is, you know, my favorite sign. I have a lot of Pisces in my chart, but it can be too selfless. It can give too much love and energy, and, you know, not everyone deserves it, you know. So, with the energy, Aries energy is about what do I want to do? How do I want my life to be like? And welcoming friends that are going to be like an equal partner that's going to help uplift us. You know, just like we don't have to be in competition. We don't have to compare ourselves. Just find ways to be together. I think that, you know, social media is going to become more and more boring for many people, and we're going to focus more on doing what we love to do. Yeah. I just taking a breather because it felt very passionate to share this message with you. Thank you very much for listening. I'm gonna do a second part with Oracle and Tarot reading. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. Till the next time. Bye bye.